There are moments in the world of celebrities that seem almost too small to become a sensation, yet somehow they ignite an entire storm of curiosity. A glance, a quiet gesture, an unexpected appearance, or a detail that suddenly seems connected to someone else can send fans into hours of speculation. This time, the attention has turned toward Zhang Linghe and Tian Xiwei, after an intriguing claim began circulating that Zhang Linghe had allegedly prepared a new car for Tian Xiwei. The idea alone was enough to make fans stop scrolling and start asking questions. Was it really a personal gesture? Was there something happening behind the scenes that the public had not seen? Or was an ordinary detail transformed by the enormous fascination surrounding two stars whose every interaction seems capable of creating a wave across social media? Nothing about the claim has been established as confirmed fact, but that uncertainty is precisely what has made the story so irresistible. The more people look at the possibility, the more mysterious it becomes, because a car is not exactly the kind of detail fans usually associate with a simple professional friendship. It represents comfort, convenience, privacy, movement, and a certain level of personal consideration. And when the names attached to the rumor are Zhang Linghe and Tian Xiwei, even the smallest possibility begins to feel like a much bigger story. Imagine the atmosphere surrounding them when the cameras are gone, when the lights of an event disappear, when the noise of fans and reporters fades into the background and celebrities are left with the ordinary realities of exhausting schedules, long journeys, endless rehearsals, and constant public attention. Their lives may look glamorous from a distance, but behind every red carpet appearance are hours of preparation, travel, waiting, filming, changing costumes, promotional obligations, and moments when privacy becomes almost impossible to find. In that world, something as simple as having a reliable car waiting at the right moment could mean far more than its material value. It could represent thoughtfulness. It could represent convenience. It could simply be a practical arrangement. Yet because fans already have such a strong interest in Zhang Linghe and Tian Xiwei, the alleged gesture has taken on an emotional meaning that goes far beyond the object itself. People are wondering why such a rumor appeared, where the idea came from, and whether there is any truth behind it. Those questions remain unanswered, and that is exactly where the fascination begins. The reaction from fans has been intense because Zhang Linghe and Tian Xiwei have developed a screen presence together that many viewers find unusually compelling. Whenever two performers create convincing chemistry, audiences naturally begin wondering where performance ends and personal connection begins. That curiosity becomes even stronger when the public moments contain subtle expressions, comfortable interactions, or small gestures that viewers interpret in different ways. A new car, therefore, becomes almost symbolic in the imagination of the fandom. It is not simply a vehicle anymore. It becomes a question. Why would someone allegedly go out of their way to prepare something like that? Was it connected to work? Was it connected to travel? Was it a misunderstanding? Was it something arranged by a production team, management company, or another party? Or could it have been a private gesture that was never intended to become public? Without reliable confirmation, every possibility remains open, and responsible viewers should keep that distinction clear. Rumor can create excitement, but rumor is not evidence. That distinction, however, has not stopped the internet from doing what the internet does best. Once a story catches fire, every related photograph suddenly looks different. Every past interaction becomes part of a new conversation. Fans begin revisiting old clips, examining body language, remembering interviews, comparing schedules, and searching for details that might explain the newest claim. Something that appeared completely ordinary months ago can suddenly feel significant when viewed through the lens of a fresh rumor. A smile can become a clue. A casual conversation can become a theory. A shared appearance can become evidence in the minds of people who are already emotionally invested. This is how celebrity speculation grows. It rarely begins with a complete story. It begins with one intriguing detail, and then thousands of people collectively build possibilities around it. The most fascinating part of the alleged car story is the emotional question hiding underneath it. Fans are not really obsessed with the vehicle itself. They are fascinated by what the gesture might represent if it were ever proven to be genuine. People naturally understand care through actions. Words can be rehearsed, interviews can be carefully planned, and public appearances can be professionally managed, but small practical gestures often feel more personal. Someone making sure another person gets home safely, arranging transportation during a difficult schedule, remembering a preference, or helping reduce the stress of an exhausting day can appear far more intimate than a grand public declaration. That is why the rumor has touched such a sensitive nerve within the fandom. It suggests a kind of quiet consideration rather than a dramatic announcement. But again, that emotional interpretation should not be confused with confirmation. The claim remains an allegation, and without credible evidence, it is impossible to know what actually happened. There is another reason the rumor feels so powerful. Zhang Linghe and Tian Xiwei have repeatedly been placed under intense public attention because viewers are fascinated by their chemistry and the way the personalities appear to complement each other. The names together naturally generate curiosity. When fans see them in the same environment, they watch more closely. When they appear separately, people sometimes look for connections between their schedules. When an unexpected detail appears, speculation can grow almost instantly. The intensity of this attention creates an unusual environment in which even an ordinary event can become emotionally charged. The alleged preparation of a new car therefore enters an already existing narrative, one that fans have been building through countless moments over time. Whether the claim is accurate or not, its emotional impact comes from everything people already associate with the pair. And perhaps that is why the story has created such divided reactions. Some fans are excited because they see the rumor as another possible sign of closeness. Others are skeptical and want evidence before believing anything. Some are simply entertained by the mystery, while others worry that speculation can cross the line into invading private lives. That range of reactions is important because celebrities are real people living under extraordinary levels of observation. A rumor can be exciting to discuss, but it can also become unfair if assumptions are treated as facts. Zhang Linghe and Tian Xiwei deserve the same distinction that anyone else deserves between what is publicly confirmed and what remains private. The most compelling mystery is often the one that leaves room for uncertainty rather than pretending to know what happened behind closed doors. Still, imagine for a moment why the alleged gesture would have captured so much attention. Picture a busy day, a packed schedule, the exhaustion that follows hours of filming, and the constant pressure of moving from one commitment to another. In such a world, a new car could represent something incredibly simple, making life easier. Maybe it was connected to transportation. Maybe it was a professional arrangement. Maybe the rumor misunderstood the circumstances entirely. But the human mind naturally searches for emotional meaning, especially when the people involved already have a powerful connection in the public imagination. Fans see the possibility and ask themselves what kind of relationship would inspire such consideration. The answer, however, cannot be supplied by imagination alone. The mystery becomes even more fascinating when considering how little celebrities can sometimes reveal about the private lives. Public figures learn to protect certain parts of themselves because every detail can become news. A private dinner can become a headline. A shared vehicle can become a rumor. A simple smile can become a trending topic. Under those circumstances, meaningful gestures may happen far away from cameras precisely because people want them to remain private. That is why the alleged car story has created such intense curiosity. If something personal really did happen, there may never be a dramatic announcement. There may be no photograph, no statement, no confirmation, and no explanation. There might simply be a quiet reality known only to the people involved. And that possibility is enough to keep fans wondering. What makes the situation emotionally powerful is not the certainty of the claim, but the uncertainty surrounding it. The internet often wants immediate answers, Yet relationships and human connections rarely fit into simple explanations. Two people can care about each other without being romantically involved. Two colleagues can be extremely supportive without sharing a secret relationship. A thoughtful gesture can have a practical explanation. At the same time, a private connection can exist without public confirmation. All of these possibilities can exist simultaneously, and that is what makes responsible discussion so important. Instead of turning speculation into certainty, the mystery can be appreciated for what it is, an intriguing story that has captured the imagination of fans. There is also something deeply revealing about why fans respond so strongly to stories like this. People are drawn to quiet acts of care because they feel authentic. In an entertainment industry built around performance, audiences often search for moments that appear unscripted. They want to know who celebrities are when they are not performing a character. They want to see kindness that does not look designed for cameras. They want to believe that behind the glamorous images are ordinary human emotions. So when a rumor suggests that one celebrity may have done something thoughtful for another, the emotional reaction can be enormous. It touches a universal desire to believe that genuine care still exists behind the spotlight. But there is another side to that fascination. When viewers become deeply invested in a pairing, they may begin connecting details that were never actually connected. This is where excitement can become assumption. A rumor about a car can quickly become a rumor about a relationship, and a rumor about a relationship can quickly become treated as a hidden truth. That progression can happen incredibly fast online. One person speculates, another person repeats the speculation, someone else adds a detail, and eventually the original uncertainty disappears beneath layers of interpretation. By the time the story reaches a massive audience, people may forget that it began as an unverified claim. That is why the word allegedly matters so much here. It keeps the story in its proper place. And yet, even with all the uncertainty, the emotional conversation surrounding Zhang Linghe and Tian Xiwei continues because fans are fascinated by the possibility of something deeper than what is visible on screen. Their chemistry has encouraged viewers to imagine countless stories beyond the characters they portray. That is one of the strange powers of television. When two actors create believable emotional tension, audiences begin caring about them as a pair. The line between fictional chemistry and real-life curiosity becomes increasingly blurred. Suddenly, viewers are not only interested in what happens to the characters. They are interested in what happens when the cameras stop rolling. That curiosity may explain why a single alleged gesture can become such a huge topic. A car is tangible. It can be photographed, purchased, driven, parked, noticed. It represents movement and access. In the imagination of fans, it can become a physical symbol of a connection that cannot otherwise be seen. But symbolism is not proof. The object may have an entirely ordinary explanation. That is the tension at the heart of the story. The more emotional meaning fans attach to the alleged gesture, the more important it becomes to separate what is known from what is imagined. Perhaps the most beautiful way to view the entire situation is to focus not on the rumor itself but on the universal emotion that made people care about it. Everyone understands what it feels like to receive unexpected consideration. Sometimes the smallest gesture can make an exhausting day easier. Someone remembering that you need help, arranging something before you ask, making sure you are comfortable, or simply thinking about your needs can carry enormous emotional weight. Whether or not anything like that happened between Zhang Linghe and Tian Xiwei, the reason people respond to the story is because they recognize the emotional language of thoughtfulness. The story also raises an interesting question about privacy in the age of constant visibility. Celebrities can have millions of people watching them while still being almost completely unknown to the public as private individuals. Fans may know their work, the public appearances, their interviews, and the professional achievements, yet the most meaningful parts of their lives can remain invisible. A rumor can create the illusion that a hidden door has opened. Suddenly, people feel as though they are being given a glimpse behind the curtain. But that glimpse may be real, misunderstood, exaggerated, or completely inaccurate. Until the people involved speak for themselves or reliable evidence emerges, nobody outside the private world can know for certain. And that uncertainty is exactly what keeps the story alive. If there were an immediate explanation, the mystery would disappear. If there were undeniable proof, the conversation would become something else entirely. But when a claim sits in the space between possibility and reality, imagination takes over. Fans discuss it, comment sections explode, old memories are revisited, every related moment is reconsidered. Some people become convinced, others remain skeptical, and somewhere in the middle sits the truth, whatever that truth may be, waiting for facts that may or may not ever emerge. For Zhang, Linghe and Tian, the situation also demonstrates how powerful their public image together has become. The names appearing side by side can generate enormous emotional energy because audiences have already invested so much attention in their interactions. Whether fans see them as talented colleagues, close friends, an exciting on-screen pairing, or something more, the fascination is undeniable. That fascination can be beautiful when it celebrates performances and shared moments, but it becomes complicated when speculation begins replacing reality. The healthiest kind of fandom allows room for excitement without demanding certainty about private matters. So when people ask whether Zhang Linghe really prepared a new car for Tian, the honest answer is that the allegation itself does not establish the truth. There is a difference between a viral claim and a verified event. There is a difference between something fans believe and something the people involved have confirmed. And there is a difference between noticing a detail and knowing what that detail means. Those distinctions may sound simple, but in the world of celebrity rumors, they are incredibly important. Still, the emotional power of the story remains. Somewhere between the photographs, the discussions, the speculation, and the endless theories lies a question that fans cannot seem to stop asking: what if the gesture really happened? What if there was a quiet moment that nobody was supposed to notice? What if the alleged car was connected to nothing romantic at all and was simply an act of practical kindness? What if it was something arranged professionally? What if the entire story grew from a misunderstanding? Every possibility creates a different story, and none can responsibly be presented as fact without evidence. Maybe that is why the rumor feels almost cinematic. There is no dramatic confession, no public declaration, no definitive answer. There is simply a mysterious detail and two names that already carry enormous emotional weight for fans. The imagination fills in the silence. The internet adds theories. The fandom creates possibilities. And the unanswered question becomes more captivating than any simple explanation could ever be. In the end, perhaps the most important thing is not whether fans can uncover a secret, but whether they can appreciate the mystery without turning it into certainty. Zhang Linghe and Tian are both individuals with lives beyond the stories people create around them. Their professional chemistry can be celebrated. Their performances can be admired. Their public moments can be enjoyed. And if a genuine personal gesture ever becomes officially known, people can react to the facts rather than assumptions. Until then, the alleged new car story remains exactly that, an intriguing claim that has sent fans into a frenzy and opened another chapter in the endless fascination surrounding these two stars. And maybe that is the real reason this story refuses to disappear. It is not because anyone has proven what happened. It is because the possibility itself is emotionally irresistible. A quiet gesture, an unexplained detail, two familiar names, and a fandom already watching closely create the perfect conditions for speculation to explode. Whether the alleged car turns out to have a completely ordinary explanation or becomes connected to a story nobody expected, the mystery has already done something powerful. It has reminded everyone how quickly a tiny detail can become an enormous conversation when the people involved have captured the imagination of millions. For now, the unanswered questions remain suspended in the air. Was there really a new car? Who arranged it? Why was it allegedly prepared? Was it personal, professional, practical, or simply misunderstood? And most importantly, what do Zhang, Linghe and Tian Xiwei themselves think about the growing wave of speculation surrounding them? Until there is reliable confirmation, those questions remain unanswered. But perhaps that uncertainty is exactly what makes the story so captivating. Sometimes the most powerful moments are not the ones where everything is revealed, but the ones where a single unexplained detail leaves everyone wondering what might have happened when nobody was watching.